Hello, NOSA community, and welcome back. And thanks for joining us here on our YouTube channel. And we are in the process of wrapping up our topic of the month, which is getting your business started, making sure that you have all the components to be a boss, and making sure you're going on the right step and taking that transition from employee to employer. So welcome all. My name is Shamika, the creator and founder of the NOSA Group. We are glad to have you here. And if you haven't already, let's go ahead and get it over with. Go ahead and subscribe to our channel. We're excited here to extend our community from Facebook onto YouTube and allow more individuals the opportunity to learn more about this it's getting more mysterious by the days, pathway into starting a healthcare staffing business. So we want to give you the tips, tricks, tools, resources to do it on your own, as well as connect to our community. So if you haven't, go ahead and click that F in the right-hand corner and join our amazing, thriving Facebook group to get other people's experiences, comments, and feedback about their process. So let's go ahead and get started. So today's topic, which kind of wraps up everything we touched on this week, is about key components of a business plan. So I am 100%, 1,000% a proponent of having a business plan. Now, how in depth that plan needs to be, and should it be 20 to 30 pages, or maybe could it be 8 to 10 pages, is really up to you. So I just say you need to have some sort of foundation, a pathway, a roadmap that directs you to what your ultimate goal is for your business, and an idea of the research that you've done to make sure that, hey, yes, healthcare staffing is still a viable industry. I'm telling you that. And I just need to figure out my niche, where I fit in, what it looks like for that to happen and be successful for me. So our main objective here is to talk a little bit about business plan, clear up any confusion as far as how to create one. We're going to talk on a high level as far as the process, but we'll also share with you guys in the comment section a lot of resources and tools that you can use that can really make it a lot easier than it's traditionally been in the past. So one of the things you want to think about is like, how are you going to help us, how we help you as owners to implement these ideas, and investors to see how profitable the business can be. So I tell people the setup of your business is really based on your business plan. So some people set up as partners, how I did it, or they may set up as individuals or entrepreneur, solopreneur owners, or they may create a group of people who have the same vision and come together in that way. So creating a plan really allows you to give it a clear picture. Business plans should be finished before a company starts. So this is a great point because it really should be, because that's like your roadmap. That's like your directions. Those are your steps that you're going to take. But is it necessary? Maybe not. And here's an instance where you don't have to have a complete business plan, but you could operate with a business overview, some business objectives, and then start to work on all the details as the business is going. And that might be in instances where the person or the individual is working the business. So in sometimes those situations, you may do it as you're doing it, but you should definitely start with something. It, of course, guides the procedures. It can be used as a map and guide for the company's road to success. As it mentions, a business plan can be 15 to 25 pages in length, and it really just depends on what you're trying to do. So I tell people, when you think about putting a business plan together, you want to think about the ultimate goal. So we have a course called the Ultimate Staffing Agency Business, and our ultimate goal was this. So that's kind of how we created the business plan, and then you work your way backwards. So like, what are the steps to get you there? What are the things you need to do? And we'll touch on some of those things. So two of the main types of business plans include your traditional, which I talked about earlier, which includes a lot of information. And sometimes people can be intimidated by the amount of information needed, but trust me, in 3, 4, 5 years of being in business, you really want to have something that's detailed out to work from. And then, of course, you can always do what they refer to as a lean startup, which just definitely highlights all of the key points of your business, the key elements, and then, of course, leaves room for you to add more. So you guys tell me in the comments, why do you think you need a business plan? I think a lot of people have gone on to start businesses, whether it's in healthcare or any other industry, without a business plan. And sometimes you're successful and then sometimes you're not. So why do you think you need a business plan? Drop your responses in the comments. So here are a couple of reasons why I think you need one. It allows you to communicate the vision to your employees. You include that in your plan. It opens the door for partnerships, like I mentioned in the beginning. If you want to approach others, whether it be at the very beginning of when your business started or somewhere along the way, you need to have a clear view of your business. It allows you, I can't say this enough, it allows for really quality planning, and it allows you to create a guide for investors or people who may want to know more about your business, because you've taken out the time to clarify your ideas, you see what's going on in the industry, and you're looking at it from a big picture point of view. Competitors, knowing what your competitors are doing. So that's part of one of the steps we'll touch on in the creation of your business plan, which is understanding the market. So part of the market is competition. So that's going to always be a part of the market. So you want to make sure that you have created documents and have information about what makes your agency different or what makes your agency better or the right choice, especially in spaces where you're offering similar services. And then the last one, which is something we all do. Some people do it in January. I definitely do it in October. But at any point in the year, you want to evaluate. You want to kind of look and see, hey, this is what I created. This is where we are. And this is where we want to be. So it kind of, once again, as we go back, it creates the roadmap so that you know your ultimate destination. And it kind of makes you look at things and tweak things as you need to, because sometimes the first plan doesn't work. But it's better to have a first plan that may not work that you can tweak than have no plan that you can't start from. So what's all included in the business plan? So I know that's what most of you guys came here for. You're like, where do I start? What does that look like? What should I include? As they mentioned, you can have two types of business plans. So this is just an overview, but here are some things that you want to make sure that you include. That includes an executive summary. And essentially, that's the mission, the vision, a brief description of your company, summarizing the main points while capturing the attention of not only potential investors, but partners. And it's kind of like an elevator pitch. So it's kind of who you are, what you do, and why you do it. So when you're creating your executive summary, you want to think about like, what's the ultimate goal? Like, why do you want to be in business? Who is your audience? And what added value or new value are you adding to the industry? The company description. So this should provide an overview of your company's missions, products, or services offered, your target market, and advantages over competition. So this is really talking about what sets you apart. So why should I work for you is how I describe people, or describe company description. So like, why should I work for you? Like, what makes you different? What makes you better? You know, and it's not in a way of not appreciating the other competition as much as highlighting, you know, hey, I'm a nurse-owned staffing agency. That's different by itself. But what else do you have to offer? Are you a nurse who worked in the ED or ICU? Are you someone who has experience in, you know, staffing and other elements, or working in other business fields, or other things that are just like a little bit of that added value for the products or services that you're offering? The financial piece. The financial piece, hands down, is super key. The question comes up in the group. It comes up here on our YouTube channel all the time. We're like, how much does it cost? Like, how much do I need? And it's always hard to give like one exact answer because there's so many variables. It's how you start up. It's how many people are involved in the startup process. It's, are you doing everything in-house? Are you outsourcing things? Are you getting support from professional organizations or other businesses? What state you're located in? You know, the number of employees, how many contracts, are you looking to do contracts or per diem or travel? So all of those things really go into creating your financial projections. But there's a couple of different templates out there that you can use that kind of gives you an idea, but kind of having something to start with is really good. And your startup costs are different than the cost it costs for you to do business. The next one is number 4, market analysis. In these times, and some people call them uncertain times, but 100% in these times, you need to know what the market is. And ironically, the market changes, I would say, just about every quarter. But in this section, your company wants to explain their place in the industry. You want to make sure that you highlight your strengths, point out your weaknesses, and the expected demand and other data. So this is where you want to look at doing like your SWOT analysis, your strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And it's not only based on you as the individual business owner, but it's also what's happening in the industry. So the healthcare staffing business industry is humongous. Billions of dollars, billions of revenue is generated in this industry. But where you fit in it, are you a small size, mid size, or large size agency? What qualifies or quantifies that? How much revenue are you generating? How many employees are going to work for your business? What types of positions are they holding? So all of that plays in what types of specialties are you primarily working in? Are you doing mostly SNF or LTAC? Are you doing hospitals? Or are you doing government contracting or state or local staffing? So all of that plays into kind of highlighting your SWOT analysis, also known as what's happening out there in the market. The other thing you want to look at is changes or shifts or waves in the market, which I feel like is what we're experiencing now. And a lot of that is based around, hey, we have a higher demand. Our demand and supply is kind of more equal than the opposite. How do I differentiate my agency from everybody else's? The pay rates, even though they have definitely gone down in certain areas, they haven't had as much of a dip than others. How does that impact the bottom line? How does that impact your, being able to recruit candidates and acquire clients? Number 5 is your service description. So like, what do you do? Where do you staff? How does your product or description regarding prices and benefits and lifespan and cost communicate to your particular clients or partners or investors? So what are you doing? And I tell people you want to spend a little bit of time with this because sometimes people don't understand healthcare staffing. Healthcare staffing in America by far is its own unicorn. It's done in a way that most other countries don't do it. And the level of revenue that it generates is tremendous. So explaining to someone who has no idea what it is really key when we talk about the service description, so that you don't push yourself out of certain pools or pockets of the industry because people aren't clear about what you do. The next one, marketing strategy. This is my favorite. And in our industry, we're not only marketing our business to potential clients, we're marketing our agency to potential employees. So you want to make sure that you use a couple of different types of sources when you're doing that. So you don't only want to send emails or do posts or cold calls. You want to do a variety of things and really have done the research to see what works. So is email marketing effective in the area you want to work in? Is doing in-person marketing a better strategy? Could you potentially be doing and reaching out to candidates or potential employees through job fairs? Or are your people more likely to be on social media platforms? So those are all areas or ways that you can market your business, but you want to do the research and develop a good strategy. And then, of course, we have number 7, the financials of it all. So number 7, where we're talking about how much are you planning to invest in every part of your agency or your business. And then we also want to talk about like how much does it cost. So I tell people there's some things that are consistent in the industry when we talk about getting started. And that looks like, hey, it costs X, Y, and Z. To get started, you need to have these specific insurances in place. You need to have workers' comp. You need to have a payroll system. There's a cost involved with that. So when you start to tally those things up, all of it is really connected, and it really allows you to understand, hey, it's not just this or this. These are like the 5 things I need, and to make sure that you have them. Next. So that kind of wraps up. Like I said, it's going to be it was a high overview of some of the things. In the comments below, we have some information in the description in the comments about resources you can use. I encourage people to, one, definitely check out our website as we have some resources there, but definitely check out free resources available to you in your respective communities through SCORE and SBA, who have great templates and mentors who will work with you with developing business plans. Developing a business plan is not something that you want to cut short or skip over, even if you decide to do an abbreviated version of it, because it really is a roadmap, as I call it, your roadmap for success, but it is a roadmap for how your business and agency will do in the future. Thanks as always. If you want to know more, definitely make sure that you follow us on any of our social media platforms, or go ahead and subscribe and you'll get updates for upcoming videos that we'll have. We're going to move on to a new topic, so we're excited about that in February, and we're excited to share with you guys that our topic is going to be one of the hottest topics in the group here on the Facebook, here on our YouTube channel, and it's all about rates. So definitely make sure that you join us for those discussions.